Con.
What's going on? Welcome to About That Time. Today we're going to be analyzing this $20 Wonder Watch, a Chinese-made watch called the Jaragar Pilot Watch. It is a pilot slide watch, but it also is automatic and has a date on it. So let's take a look at it for this $20 watch. This is a one-day review with Jordan Scott McDuff. All right, so we've got here, this watch is 50 millimeters. It's a giant case diameter. And when you put it on, I put it on this Zulu strap because the strap it came with actually fell apart within probably a day. I've had this watch for a little bit, and the watch strap just fell apart. It wasn't any good. But the issue that I always keep running into is the fact that there is so much space between the lug and my wrist. I mean, if you look, I can actually see you through here. I can stick my finger, my index finger, through here. And it makes me want to stick my middle finger through here. It's very uncomfortable to wear. Now, at $23 on average, I would say that this is a pretty decent automatic, considering. When I went through the testing, I got a plus 51 through 41 seconds of error. Now, it's a pilot slide watch, so it's got that feature, but the problem is the greatest feature of this watch is also its greatest downfall, because you have a screw back case, something that is meant to withstand water, and then the slide was built directly on top of the watch, not implemented inside of the watch. Now, this watch right here only has a 1 bar of water resistance because of this slide. So the one thing that makes it awesome is the one thing that makes it terrible. And that's really confusing for a watch guy, because you have something that if you just got rid of this slide and just put a regular crystal on top of it, it would be perfect. You could probably get maybe 50 meters of water resistance with the screw back case. On top of that, it's not a chronograph. You might think it's a chronograph, but it's actually a date. It has the day of the week in numerical format, and then it has the day of the month in numerical format with only 31, 10, and 20 as your indicator marks. So not only do you have to sit there and count each little tick to find out what day it is, but you also have to remember, is Saturday the Sabbath? Does the week start on Sunday, or does the week start on Monday? Is Monday number 1, or is Monday number 2 because Sunday is number 1? Or, is Saturday the Sabbath and that's number 1? So Saturday is number 1, Monday is number 3 at this point, and then Sunday is number 2. It's very confusing. It's just not a good way to show a calendar. It's a terrible way to show a calendar. Now, on top of that, it does, has the date, so it is an added feature, but it just seems like it could have been done better. Let's see. The loom is there. There is loom on this. I'm gonna take this watch off. It is so uncomfortable to wear. All right, time to put on something a little bit more comfortable. Now, I spent $20 on this watch. Now, this watch cost me $20. So for the price point, you're getting an automatic movement. You're getting loom on the hands. You're getting a date. You're getting 1 bar of water resistance. You're getting a pilot slide, and you're getting a 50 millimeter manly watch. It's not going to be the most comfortable watch you ever worn. It's not going to last one lick of combat training, but it will look cool. It will be automatic. It's got the little window in the back to make it look cool. That's the reason why this watch is there. This watch is checking off cool points, and that's it. It's a cool watch. It's not an awesome watch. It's not a horology masterpiece. It's not even something that I would wear on a daily basis. But we're gonna test out the water resistance now. We're just gonna drop it in a cup of water. That's all we're gonna do. It's not even 3 feet, which is what 1 bar is. And we're just gonna put it in a cup of water, see if it captures any water, and see if it is at all waterproof to do the basics. Wash your hands, take a shower, and do all those things. That's not even 3 feet. It says 1 bar of water resistance. That isn't even listed on the back of the watch, so it leads me to think that this watch might not be water resistant at all. So our cup of water test turned out to be a complete failure. This watch is not even 1 bar waterproof. Now, this again was my prediction that the actual slide was going to be the issue, and I feel like through that process the slide allowed an opening inside of the case and let water in. You can see the water traveling around in the watch right here. You see the hazing here. I can't wipe that off, and all of this is due to just water in the watch. And it's kind of sad to see a watch that even claims water resistance not be able to stay up to par. So after successfully removing the glass with my official glass breaker, I mean crystal remover, I ended up exposing a little bit more of some information about why this watch isn't so water resistant. I want you to take a look at this. You see this space between the watch dial and the actual bezel, the pilot slider. That bezel is the space right between the watch and the actual bezel. That's where that 1 bar of water resistance comes from. So if you look here, you'll see there's no O-ring to establish any kind of water resistance whatsoever. It's just metal on metal. It did not even last in a cup of water. Do not wash your hands with this watch. Do not shower with this watch or swim with this watch, because it will be much worse than you think. So after a little bit of prying with my professional removing tool, I ended up getting the actual movement out of the watch. And the saddest thing about this is that there is still no markings as to what this movement is. It is definitely just a basic nothing movement. And it's kind of sad to me that they didn't put any emphasis on the actual movement itself. No markings whatsoever. If someone knows what movement this is, I don't see any markings whatsoever. So then I ripped this thing off. I pulled it off with my pocket knife. I just bent it out of shape. There's no O-ring. So if you look here, you'll see there's no O-ring to establish any kind of water resistance whatsoever. It's just metal on metal. And that's the reason why I got such a low rating. Literally just like a little bit of rubber between this ridge here would have saved them so much water resistance. But there's none. I don't see any. There is none. So this case was pretty robust, but I ended up pulling it apart with a pocket knife, so I wouldn't actually call this robust. Now, this is the part that frustrates me, is that there is this perfect ridge right here. This ridge right here that goes all the way around this watch would have been a perfect place to put that crystal on top of this watch. It would have been perfect in there because it actually sits really flush in there. Check this out. See how flush it is with the watch? It would have been perfect, and it would have looked really good if that was the case. I'm gonna just have fun with this a little bit. Get the hands moving. There you go. And then let's get this movement off. See if we can find it. Let's get this movement off and see if I can get some clues on the other side of this movement. Usually I would be really careful with taking all the screws out, keeping them all, and making sure they all stay in place, but this is a very rudimentary movement, and obviously as soon as I started to move it, it fell apart. But very basic movement, very topical, not very expensive looking. Definitely not one you're going to make a skeleton out of. But yeah, this is what's inside of this Jaragar movement. It's not very pretty. It's actually surprising they actually put a window on the other side of this thing. Now here is that movement, that lever. It's just that this whole thing's falling apart. So. So what have we really learned today? Sometimes it's not about the price of the watch. Sometimes it's not about the quality of the watch. Sometimes it's just about what the watch's purpose is. And that purpose was easily found today as just to be cool. And honestly, after doing some research and putting that watch without a crystal in the water, it's lasted over 30 minutes in the water. And it kind of goes to show how kind of wimpy higher end watches can be sometimes. Whether like the higher end watches, once they reach their limit, they're just kind of like, I'm kind of done now. You know? But these robust kind of low end cheap watches end up just keep ticking, because it's kind of like that 1950 Ford F-150. You know, it's just kind of like that one watch. So it's kind of an interesting utility watch, I would say, at this point, just kind of looking back. Water resistance, absolute crap. The date, calendar, absolute crap. The watch in and of itself, the band, absolute crap. The pilot slide, absolute crap. You know, there's a whole bunch of absolute craps here. But at $23, that's where it gets you. That's where the draw is. Save up some money, get yourself a nice Seiko. Just do it. Just do it. That watch is not going to be worth your time. It's not even worth anybody's time. It wasn't even worth my time. So I'm sorry for wasting your time today, but you had to know. You had to know. Anyway, my name is Jordan McDuff. I hope you really liked this video. Go ahead and subscribe, like, do whatever the heck people do these days for YouTube. I'm just a watchmaker. I don't know anything. Anyway, see you later, guys. Have a great day, and God bless America.